Hey, I'm Robert Lewis, and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about something that I think that will be very, very beneficial to you if you begin to take some of the things I'm telling you and begin to apply them to your life. And that is how to pass certification tests. I recently just took a test, AWS Cloud Practitioner certification test, and I was able to pass it. And there's a couple of different things I want to share with you on how you too can pass any certification that you are studying for. And so hopefully as you listen to this video today, you can take some of the things that I recommend to you that I believe will help you to be able to pass your next certification test. I personally believe that certifications are very, very valuable. They can be very, very beneficial for your career. They can open doors for you as promotions, being more marketable in your profession, your career, and things of that nature. And so I definitely want to encourage you to take advantage of certifications. A lot of times your employer will pay for you to take a test. And if your employer will not pay for you to initially take the test, sometimes you can pay for it, and then you go to them and let them know, hey, I took this certification. I believe that it's going to help me to be more of a value here in the company. And they might just reimburse you for taking that test. But a lot of companies, they have programs as set up as a benefit for you as an employee to help you further your education in your career. And anytime you do that, you are investing in yourself. Self-development. That's a term that a lot of people use now, self-development. And you always want to invest in yourself and to continue to develop in your career. So these are some tips that I want to share with you today about passing any certification. The very first thing I want to say to you is that when you decide that you want to pursue a certain certification for your career, like I said, I just took the AWS Cloud Practitioner certification. Is you have to make time to study. Now I know we're all busy, we have a lot of stuff going on, but if you're going to pass the test, you have to make time to study. And one of the different things a lot of us always say, or an excuse that people say, is that, you know what, I just don't have time. But if you're honest with yourself, you have time. You may have to get up a little bit earlier than what you usually do to make time to study. You may have to stay up a little bit later at night to make time to study. You may have to even study on your lunch break. These are all things that I had to do with a family, with a son, with things that I do outside of my 9 to 5. I had to be creative with how I had to make time to study. And so one of the things, like I said, I had to get up a few hours early sometimes. Sometimes I had to study on my lunch break. And sometimes I would even have to study late at night when I could be using that sleep, which we all know is very, very valuable to us in our lives. After you make time to study, the next thing you need to do is you actually have to study, okay? And when you begin to study, what you have to do is you have to figure out what is the best way for you to study to be able to learn and to comprehend the material. All right, we just don't want to consume the material, but we want to make sure that we are comprehending and that we can actually understand the material. Okay, so there's different ways that you can learn the material for your whatever certification that you're doing. You can read books, you can watch videos, you can take courses, and you can also go through different study guides that have practice tests and things of that nature. I did a combination of courses and videos. I signed up for a course on Pluralsight that was very, very beneficial, and I'm going to put a link to I'll put some information into the description of this video of what actual course I took on Pluralsight that you can use if you are pursuing your AWS Cloud Practitioner certification. But I learn best by watching YouTube videos, stopping the videos, going into the application. In this instance, it was AWS console, trying out some of the examples. If it's a code related course, stopping the video, going into my code editor of choice and actually typing in the code and trying out the examples as the instructor is going through the course. That is the best way for me to learn. You may be different. You may learn better by reading books, reading textbooks and things that's been written specifically for the different certification that you are studying for. You may learn better in a classroom situation. Whatever that way of learning that's best for you, that is the course of study that you should take, and that is going to allow you to be more successful in being able to pass that certification that you're studying for. The very next thing that I'm going to share with you that I think is very, very crucial is to actually pick a date. Now, when I was studying for my certification, I had been studying for, I would say about 2 months or so, and I kept studying, going over material, doing some of the things I told you as far as trying out some of the examples and things of that nature, watching the videos over and over and over again, talking through different scenarios in my head, how I would approach it, reciting some of the acronyms that pertain to AWS to make sure that I had a clear understanding of, if I saw them on the test, would I, know what it meant, all different things. But I realized, with everything that I was doing, all the studying, reviewing the acronyms and reviewing the videos over and over again, that I was never going to obtain my certification if I did not pick a date and take the test. One of the things that I think that hinders people is they actually study, they actually find a method, a way that they can study the content, be prepared for the test, but they never actually pick a date to take the test. And that is so crucial. You have to pick a date. I believe that's important because you want to one day be able to say, hey, I'm certified in whatever certification that you're going for. But if you don't take the test, you'll never have an opportunity to be able to, to take the test. And here it goes. You put in a whole lot of work, to obtain this certification. But you have to have a day where you can prove, look, that I was ready, I'm prepared, and yes, I deserve to be certified. So picking that date is very, very important. The next reason why it's important to pick a date is because I believe that it will put a little bit of fire onto you to say, you know what, hey, I picked a date, I paid money for this, or my organization paid money for this, and look, I need to make sure that I'm ready, I'm prepared, and I'm going to study and make sure that I'm ready to take this test. So that's why I believe taking time to actually pick a date, pay your money, talk to your HR department or benefit department or whoever is in charge of allocating the funds for you to be able to take your test, and to actually pick a date and to go forth and do what you need to do and actually get your certification. And the last thing I want to tell you is this: get a good night's sleep. If you put in weeks, months of studying and preparing, do not stay up all night cramming and studying and just re-going. If you put in the time, get a good night's sleep. I promise you, you will thank yourself when you take the test. Get a good night's sleep. When you go in, your mind will be fresh. You won't be sleepy. You won't be tired. Get a good night's sleep. Get a good night's sleep. Wake up the next morning and be prepared to take your test. The next thing I want to say with you, the last thing is, make sure you eat something before you actually go in to take your test. You don't want to go into your test or while you're taking your test hungry. It's not going to be good for you. If you're tired, it's not going to be great, and if you're hungry, it's not going to be great. I'm not saying you're not going to pass the test, but you're not going to have a good experience while you're taking the test. And so I believe if you take these different things to heart, that you will be more successful when you're preparing for your next certification, whether it's in the IT field, medical field, or whatever industry that you're working in. But as you know, this is a channel dedicated to software developers. So I believe that these tips will be very beneficial to help you to be more successful to obtain the next certification that you're working for. Make time to study. Let's go over and review. Make time to study. Find the best way that you believe that you're going to be more successful to be able to understand and to comprehend the content. Find the study method that's best for you. Pick a date to actually take the test. Get a good night's sleep. And last but not least, before you go in to take your test, make sure that you have eaten something. Hey, I believe that these tips will help you to be more successful, and I am looking forward to hearing how these tips have helped you to achieve your next certification as a software developer. Well, I look forward to talking to you again. Thanks for watching the video. Take care, and God bless.